Hello, everybody. Hello. How are you today? I am so excited. I am so delighted. I'm happy to be alive. I'm happy to be here live on Radio Africana. And I'm so thrilled to have a wonderful guest tonight. Yes, and on our brand new show, this is our second Sunday, Embrace and Understand Diversity. And this is by Raw Reach Out Autism. Yes, brought to you here live on Radio Africana by your girl Julie. How are you? How is your Sunday going? It is Father's Day today. What are you doing? What is going on? Are you out, family meals, or what's going on? Yes, I'm right here live on Radio Africana, and we're here to dissect everything autism. Yes, to enable to spread the awareness. Guys, I'm thrilled. What I'm going to do, I'm going to give you a minute, and then we're going to go hit a song, and we'll be just right back. Yes. Welcome back. Hope you have enjoyed that thrilling, nice Sunday lovely song. I've actually enjoyed it. Yes, and to every father out there, from all of us here on Radio Africana, we're saying happiest Father's Day. Hope you're having a good time. And to every woman that is doing it by themselves, every single parent, we are saying happy Father's Day as a woman as well. Well done. So yes, we are discussing everything autism, and I'm so thrilled tonight to have a lovely, beautiful looking guest tonight. I won't spill it. I'm gonna let her introduce herself. You're so welcome.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. What's your name?
My name is Fatuma Sikwese.
Sikwese. What does Sikwese mean?
Oh,
did I pronounce it well?
Sikwese.
Yeah. Sounds Swahili.
No, it's a Malawian name. Yeah. I'm a mother of two. I'm married. My daughter is 17.
Wow.
My son is 9. I work at Manchester City Council. We support homeless people to find them, a place to stay. I have a business as well. So I have an organization as well called Yano. So yeah, that's me.
That's quite a lot of things. How many hats do you wear? Your mother, you have a day job, you have an organization. Okay, all right. I'm gonna break down one by one. Right. Okay. I'll leave as a mother left for later. So you work for Manchester City Council, accommodate. Okay, we'll leave that as well.
Yeah.
So you have an organization called Yano.
Yes.
Okay. What do they do?
Yano was launched last year in October. The reason why it was launched, my son Ethan is autistic, and as a mother,
sorry, is it your second or your first?
My second.
Oh, yes. Yeah,
okay. Yeah. He's 9 years old.
Yeah.
He's autistic. So ever since when I found out that he's autistic, I found out that there was much more that needed to be done, because even myself, I did experience there wasn't much awareness, there wasn't much support, there wasn't a place where I could go and talk about how I feel. And I thought there was a day that, especially this day, that's what made me, to launch Yano. My son likes to play around when he's Sunday. He wants to go and play with his friends outside.
Yeah.
And there was a day that he went out, and the other children ran away from him. They were literally running away from him, because he's learning to talk at the moment, but he can't, say a sentence. So they were running away from him. And as a mother, I was so heartbroken.
Of course.
And I thought to myself, if I have to bring change, it has to start with me.
That's interesting. I just want us to pause that a little bit.
Yeah.
I know I learned somewhere that you do baking as well.
Yes.
I want to get, where's my cakes? Why did you come with no cake? What, really? Why?
I think next time I have to bring the goodies.
The goodies.
Yes.
So you do baking?
Yes.
Yeah.
I have a business. It's called Fachi Bakeaway. I do provide snacks. I do puff. I don't know if you know puff.
Yes, I do.
Yeah. I do make puff. They're so nice.
So you decided to come here with no puff, with no cookies, with no nothing.
I'm sorry about that. I think I have to bring
It's
another time. I'll owe you that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fine,
So I do make puff. I do make samosas. They're the best samosas you've ever eaten.
Samosas.
Yes.
Oh my God! This is even getting worse.
Yes.
You could be munching on some now.
I know. Yes, I make samosas, I make cupcakes, I do meat pies, and recently, because of I love to cook, I've started, like venturing into even cooking for, like main meals. So I can make maybe jollof rice, Malawian version.
Okay.
Yes, so I can make, like main meals as well. I can, for events. Yeah, so that's pretty much.
Do you do parties, weddings?
At the moment, yeah, if they want snacks, because mainly when I started, it was just, the snacks.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if they want anything, like just any occasion, yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
You had it from the horse's mouth. Yeah, so I like that. Do you know what? I hate cooking, and I'm not even, it's not even funny, but I don't even know. I've got children in the house, but they know I hate cooking. I don't know how I've grown up to this age, but yeah. But anyway, nice to have you here today.
Yeah, thank you.
Right,
I'm
so
honored.
we're gonna leave that baking, because that one I've got a beef with it right now.
I'm sorry.
We're going to come back to it. Before we leave the baking, what prompted you? Why baking?
I think since I was young, I just love to cook.
Yeah.
If I can be honest with you, I learned to do samosas when I was 12. I used to go to my neighbor's. She was Asian, so I used to go there. She used to do samosas, so I used to help her. So since that time, I didn't even know. When I came here in UK, then I started, doing that, and people were like, oh, you could make something out of it.
Wow.
So yeah, so I love to cook. I think it's just a passion that I have in me.
That's brilliant. Amazing. I'm going to be your best friend from today. Okay.
Of course, we are best friends. Yes.
Right. So we're going to go back to Young Core Foundation.
Yes.
So your son goes out to play and everyone is running away from him. So you realized you had to do something about it.
Yeah.
In terms of awareness.
Yes.
And that's the reason why Young Core was buffed.
Yes. Yeah. And just to add on that as well, I realized that, a lot of parents, they were not, coming out to talk about it. Even myself, it took me time to, come out and talk about my son.
Do you know that he was autistic?
I think it was just a mother instinct, because I could notice like something wasn't right.
Because your first one is not autistic.
Yeah, she's not. Yeah. So when I had Ethan,
that's hard, isn't it?
It wasn't easy.
Wow.
Like even for me to talk about it now, I used to cry. Like I used to ask questions like,
why one is not?
Yes.
One is,
did I do something wrong?
Yeah. Blaming and all that.
Yeah. So I think when he was okay since because both my children, they were born early, like 4 weeks early.
Yeah.
So Ethan was okay until he was 1+. Then I noticed something wasn't right, like his behavior, and he changed. He used to talk, then he just stopped. He used to sing, nursery rhymes. From nowhere, he just stopped. So at the back of my mind, I'm like, something is all right. I could notice something. So I had to ask my health visitor, like, I think he need to be seen. But at that time they told me like,
so what for people out there listening, sorry, I just want to get to it. For people, because we're trying to create obviously awareness around autism. So people who are listening out there and maybe struggling to find out the signs, would you exactly tell us what you actually observed?
I think with my son, as you know, autism is it's a spectrum.
Yes,
but my son like used to flap, like his hands.
Yeah.
He was doing repetitive, like he would be just going around a circle. So it was odd for me. Like I knew that this is not right. So those are the things that I picked, and with a delay speech as well. But at that moment, my health visitor said that because boys sometimes they can delay. Correct, so those are the things I noticed. I think like behavior wise,
that's it's really tough to want to have one who is and one who is not. And how do you balance that? How did you balance it? Because now obviously you were well equipped. So but how did you balance that time, having one who is and one who is not?
To be honest, like I said, it wasn't easy. I used to ask a lot of questions.
Yeah.
And I think even when my friends come to visit maybe they're talking about other children, I used to feel like maybe they're trying to show off, like, oh, this child is talking, but it was just innocent for them.
Of course.
But that's how I used to feel. But for me, I think as time goes, I had to learn to accept, because I noticed a lot of parents, a lot of carriers, they don't accept. So once you accept, then you take it in and you have to support the child, because that's the most important thing that you have to do, because if you don't accept, then it's a big problem.
Right. So you get to know now that the child has a problem, and then what?
Yeah, so it wasn't easy.
Yeah.
I think for me, I accepted so quickly. I was in denial.
Yeah. He's 1.5 now, is he?
He's 9.
No, I mean
that time. Yeah. I was in denial, but because I think I was the one who noticed some signs. I told my husband didn't want to accept it. My husband was like, no, he's fine. He didn't even want to hear that. But me as a mother, I just knew that, something is not right. I used to cry. I never used to talk about it. Not even with my friends. I just kept it to myself. But it was killing me inside. Of course. The more I kept
as
it,
a mother,
yes, it was killing me.
Yeah.
So I had to to go and seek for help. So I went to my GP, said that, I think you need to assess him.
Yes.
So he was assessed he was just around 2, just to get to 2. Yeah. So at that time they didn't say anything. They said, because boys are slow, we just have to wait. So with Ethan, I think it took time. The words of autism started coming, when we were referred to speech therapy. So we went for speech therapy, like for them to help us maybe to how we can handle with to help him with his speech. Yeah. So the words, they were coming from professionals, say that he might be. They didn't diagnose him, but they were saying like, oh, he might be autistic. So throughout that journey, we are prepared that
mentally.
Yes.
Yeah.
I got the diagnosis just when he was 7.
7.
Yes. Was it? Yeah, not even 7, 8.
So
it was last year.
From 1.5 years.
Yeah.
So you're journeying through that process.
Yeah.
Until he was 7.
Yeah.
That was tough.
And to be honest, because of the COVID, the appointments.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yes. So we didn't get anyway, generally, it takes time. There's a lot of people that are on waiting list.
Yeah, of course.
It takes time.
Yeah.
So even I had to go. There was a day I just had to go because I knew the office. So I was coming from work. I said, what, let me just go and ask what's going on, because I need to know. As much as I know, he might be autistic, but I just have to, go and ask. At least I need to find the closure that, yes, he's autistic.
Now, from the period from 1.5 to 7 years, you're waiting for diagnosis.
Yeah.
What were you? How were you managing? What were you? What? How did you take the process on?
To be honest, I just thank God, for the faith, because it wasn't easy, like I said before, but. As time goes on, you tend to accept, because
then again you have to support.
Yes, you have to support.
Child,
and at that time he used to go to mainstream, and because he was not getting the right support, so even the teachers, they told us like he need to go to special needs school. Any mother, you don't want to hear that. No. You're thinking so many things in your head, but me and my husband, we had to make the decision that he has to go to to special needs school because he need to get the right support. So we made that decision, and he's been getting slowly. He's getting there now. He's saying a lot of words, and but I just thank God for the faith and just to make me strong, because it's not easy, but it takes time. I can't say like I can't even I can not imagine those people who are going through at the moment, like I wouldn't even judge them because I've been there. Yes. So it takes time, but I think the faster you accept it, the better, because the child will get the right support.
Yes, amazing. Yes, so oh my God, that is inspiring. So guys, you're listening to Embrace and Understand Diversity, brought to you by Raw Reach Out Autism, and brought to you here live on Radio Africana by your girl Julie. And I'm so humbled to have my lovely guest Fatuma.
Thank you.
And we're talking everything autism, and she's telling us, journeying with us, how she actually embraced, and learned to accept that her son was autistic. This is really inspiring to every mother there or every father that is struggling to accept autism. Yeah, we're going to be right back. We're going to take a minute and we'll be right back in a jiffy. Yes. I'm hoping that you enjoyed that song. It is Sunday, the 16th of June, and Father's Day, and I'm here. Privileged and happy to have a wonderful guest, Fatima, and we're talking everything autism. And before we broke off, we're talking about, she was sharing her inspirational story about how obviously she found out that her son was autistic, and it's really different if two children from the same family, one is autistic and another isn't, and she was sharing her inspirational story. That is amazing. Yeah. So from there, is that where Yanko was born?
Yes, that's where it was born, and there's other reasons as well, because in my country, Malawi, at the moment there isn't much awareness. A lot of people, they don't know about autism. They're getting to know, but there is much that is needed to be done. Even in my family, I used to get questions like to ask, oh, why is Ethan not speaking? I remember my mom, when I went on holiday, she even took, a small chick, the chicken. Yeah. Put on Ethan's tongue, like, oh, it will help him. You know how parents, African.
To help him speak,
Yeah. So, those are the things that, some of the reasons that made me like, I need to do something. And as well, even here in UK, I've heard people asking me questions, oh, that time Ethan was still in nappies. They will ask me, oh, why is Ethan still wearing nappies? Those kind of questions, even like, Ethan in store, if you go out in the shop, he will just run. He loves cuddles, he loves hugs.
Aww.
So he just go and run and hug somebody, like people who he doesn't even know. So those are the things that I thought, like, I need to do something, because other people will react like, oh, what is this child doing?
So and it's ignorance.
Yes,
isn't it?
Yeah. So there was a time even on social media, people were innocently asking, like, what is somebody who is autistic? These are people from my country, and people, the comments were saying, oh, it's a mad person. And for me as a mother,
the stigma attached to it, isn't it?
Yeah, I was so heartbroken.
Of course.
So all those things, they made me like, what? I need to do something. But also, just to empower other women, that, it's not the end of the world. You can still, achieve your dreams.
Yeah.
Like for me, people ask me like, how do you do it? You have a son who's autistic. I still work, I do business. I love going, out with my friends. And, I'm still here.
You're still here.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, it's just to
normal.
Yeah. And 2 years ago, I did even the Mrs. Africa, with Yano as well. Yes. So I was the princess. So all those things just to empower, other women, is to empower parents, and to raise awareness, and, to teach other people as well in the community that, it's okay, like you don't have to treat, parents who have children with disability different.
Yes.
So that was the whole main purpose why I did this.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
And okay, so that's the entire vision, isn't it? So where are you driving, Yanko? Where do you see it?
I have big dreams. At the moment, we're trying to, want to make it even further back home, especially in Malawi, because there's much that needs to be done. And we have a plan where we want to be even raising funds to support people back home.
Yeah.
Recently, I got connected to a mother who has an autistic son in Malawi. She's struggling a lot. She can't access, school for the son. And for me, I thought like, God put me in this position for a purpose, so that I can help others, I can empower. And this woman came to me because I just posted about Ethan. Wow. I tend to post, Ethan, like the little milestones that, he does, like
celebrations.
One day you just see him singing, he'll say a word. For me, it's like,
it's
wow.
A big man.
Yes, it's for me, it's like, wow, Yes, so those little things, so I post, on social media. So she came to me and said like, wow, how do you do this? I just want somebody to encourage me. I just need somebody, to who I can talk to. So through that, she shared her story, and I was so broken to hear how she's suffering with her son. And I realized, God put me in this situation so that I can be a blessing to other people, so that I can, even if it's one person, but if I can just, empower that one person, for me, it's a win. If I can just encourage that one person, it's a win. Because people, especially Africans, we tend to see each other down just because you have a child with disability. People think like, maybe if you drive a nice car, people will tend to think like, oh, maybe they're getting benefits, or they're getting a disability. Yes, you understand. So for me, it's just to be, for me, it's just to be, for those that can't even speak for themselves, I should be the one, speaking for them, and just to create a space where, we can, talk, we can come together and be free to talk about how we feel without being judged. So the plan is this year we'll be having parents group where we'll be meeting. It doesn't have to be parents who have children with autistic. Anybody in the community can come, because you never know, you might know a friend who has a child with autistic or has a disability. So we want to do that, and we'll be having maybe monthly events just to empower each other, just to raise the awareness.
That's amazing. That's brilliant.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to Embrace and Understand Diversity, and this is brought to you by Reach Out Autism. Massive greetings to Yanela, wherever you are today. I've missed you today. So we're dissecting everything autism and trying to spread more awareness around autism. Okay, so today is 16th June, Father's Day, and I'm having Fatima dissecting everything autism for us. And I'm so inspired by her story and how, she's an empowered woman who is a mother of a son who is autistic, but that has not detached her from being empowered, going into employment, doing her own thing. She's got her own business. The son is doing well and everything, with another child as well who is not autistic. So how she's balancing everything, that's what we're talking about today. Right. So where do you get all this inspiration, motivation?
I think the most thing that inspires me, it's the word of God. I believe God has brought us on this earth for a purpose.
Correct.
There's a verse that I love. It's Romans 8:28. It says everything works together for those who love the Lord.
God, yes.
And for me, I believe everything happens for a reason. And I think the other thing that I get inspired is, surrounding yourself with other people that empowers you. Like people like Yanela, see Yanela, So you need to surround yourself with people that, empowers you, drives you to do better. So that's what, I get my motivation. But most of all, it's God. I don't think sometimes, I look back and see, how did I do it? But it's only the grace of God.
Yeah, I mean, Ethan is 9 now.
Yeah, he's 9.
How is he doing?
He's doing good. He's, like I said, every day, he surprises you with things. He loves music.
What type of music does he like?
All the songs that I've put today are his favorites.
Oh, you didn't say that.
Yes. He loves, worship songs. And it's amazing, like the songs are so meaningful. And he loves music. Oh,
you didn't even say that. Oh, that's nice. Is he listening by any chance?
I hope so. I think
Ethan, wherever you are, massive, big heart.
Yeah, I think you just have to listen later.
Massive hug from all of us here on Radio Africana. We love you loads. Yeah. Right. So, of course, going through this whole process, what has been maybe one or two most challenging times? Or pitfalls?
There's been few. We still experience some challenges. I shouldn't lie, but I think the most one that I can share, it's I think as a family, for myself, I've experienced miscarriages when I had Michelle. So when I had
is that between Ethan and
Michelle? Yes.
All right.
So like we're looking forward to have another child, and you expect like a child to be okay, and you get hit that your son is autistic, and like I said, it hasn't been easy. I think the most challenging is just like as a mother, which now Ethan is saying few words, but for him to say mom, I've always wished to say like, mom.
Does he actually say mom?
He can't. He doesn't. The only time he'll say mom, if I'm saying like in the morning, because I always do that in the morning, I'll say good morning, Ethan, and I have to repeat. Then sometimes he'll answer back. He'll say good morning, mommy. Yeah, but he can't just come and say, mom, I want this. Those are the things that I miss, as a mother.
Yeah.
And sometimes he come back from school, he's upset. Even the teacher will tell us that, oh, Ethan has been upset. And for me as a mother, I wouldn't even, know what's going on with him. Just for him to tell me like, oh, mom, today I've had a good day. Today this is what happened in school. He can't say that. So those things that it hurts.
Yeah.
But I've learned to just it comes
but you know what, you saying that, right? So you're saying Ethan would not be able to say, coming from school and say, mom, you know what, this, can you imagine this boy did this thing and all this?
Yes.
But I tell you what, he will say it in a different way.
Yes.
And that is what you need to concentrate on.
Yeah.
He may not say it as the mainstream child, as a mom this, but he will come to you and definitely he will communicate it.
I'm hoping for that.
And that is what we should embrace, and that's what every mother or father out there should embrace, that we all communicate differently. The way I talk is different from the way I talk too much anyway. So that's so everyone says that. So what I'm trying to say in essence is that he will come home, but he will communicate differently.
Yes. But I think you'd want, because we are human being, you'd want your son to say, oh, mom, today it's been a bad day. You just know that he's upset, he's not happy, because sometimes you come, he's happy, that the day, even the teacher will say that oh, Ethan today has been been happy. But those are the things that has been challenging, but I've learned to accept it. I've learned to just embrace everything, because there's nothing much I can do. It's just to support him,
and that's why your mother.
Yes.
So there's a mother I follow on YouTube. She's got an autistic child.
Yeah.
This child is growing he's actually growing stronger and bigger.
Yeah.
Now he's of late started being very aggressive.
Yeah.
And the mother is finding it very challenging because she cannot control that. When he's upset, he's proper upset.
Yeah.
And he opens the taps in the house and everybody's flooded and all these things. So when I'm trying to visualize Ethan, say he's 17, I'm praying to God that he gets better.
Yeah.
Which can happen.
Yeah.
But we need to plan ahead. What is the plan between now and his teenagehood?
To be honest, he does even have some tantrums. Yeah. Like,
but every child has tantrums.
Yes. But I think with Ethan, he tends to, if he's upset as a mother, you just have to find what's upsetting him.
Correct.
As much as he can't say it, but we try to see like, oh, what's up. I remember there was a day there was a birthday party, so he went to the trampoline place, and I think he wanted to eat. So from nowhere, because he loves jumping up and down, so he started crying, and I was like, Ethan, what's wrong with him? He should be happy. He's here. He loves being here. But I realized that, he wants something to eat.
Okay.
So I took him out and bought him some food. So it's just about understanding, like, as a mother, you have to know, as much as it's not every time you're going to know, but you try all the means, like, I need to know what's the matter. And to be honest, God has been amazing, because, sometimes, he'll come home. If he's upset, he can even he tends to, he has certain things that he will throw,
when he's upset.
Yes, when he's upset. But we me and my husband would try as much as because he has feelings, so we can't say like, Ethan, don't get upset. Yes. All of us will get upset, but it's just finding ways to know like what's upsetting him,
to understand him,
how to calm those situations. Yes.
So as Yanko, moving away from Ethan, as Yanko, what are the current burning projects you're working on?
At the moment, we've been doing on Facebook, because we're waiting for funding that we're going to be doing events. But at the moment, I've been doing episodes on Facebook called Rising Above Autism, where we've been bringing people, parents, who has children with disability, autistic. So, just to share the story, because I realized that, the more we share our stories, the more we're going to help people out there. And the more people are going to know that, you don't have to treat people differently.
Yes.
So that's what we're kind of doing. But and by the grace of God, in November, we want to have a fundraising dinner, just to raise funds for children back home in Malawi, those that are disadvantaged, that they can't have food, they can't go to school. So we'll be doing that every year.
Amazing. November, do you know the date yet, or?
It should be the first week or second week of November.
Amazing. Right, so we've talked about so many things. Could you have one or two successful stories from not Ethan but from people that you've maybe interacted with, mothers or carers?
I think recently, like the lady I spoke to, she's been she was even crying, we communicated, because she said I was an angel to her. Because if I didn't even communicate to her, she didn't know because she's been praying that somebody should intervene in her situation. So she's one person that I can say that she's come out and say, I don't know what I could have done without you coming out. And a lot of people have been coming out just to because of the stories that we share. They're being empowered, and I hope a lot of women will, not just women, even fathers, they should come out, because I know a lot, they don't want to talk about it. They just want to keep inside. People don't stop going to church because they feel like people will judge them. People don't want to go to any events because they feel like people will judge them. So I'm hoping somebody out there will be inspired just to be who they are.
Amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, I am actually getting so engulfed in this. We're talking everything autism and trying to spread more awareness around autism. And the show is called Embrace and Understand Diversity, brought to you by Reach Out Autism, and brought to you here live on Radio Africana by your girl, Jules. And I'm here with Fatima tonight. We're going to take a minute. We're running out of time. We'll take a minute and we'll be right back. Yes, that's one of Ethan's favorite songs. I hope he will enjoy it when he listens back to the show. And tell him Auntie Julie sent massive hugs from Radio Africana.
I will.
Yes, okay. So I love that song myself, actually. You're listening in to Embrace and Understand Diversity, brought to you by Reach Out Autism. And I am talking to Fatima, who is a mother of an autistic child, but has embraced the journey. She's very, successful in what she does. She has a full-time job. She has a business. She has everything. So listen, guys out there, you can be what you want to be. It doesn't matter what you're going through. Okay. Right. So before we end the show, right. So what advice would you give to a parent or a caregiver out there that is struggling to embrace the actual process of autism?
I think the first thing that I would say is acceptance. Because a lot of parents, they don't want to accept. And I think the other thing is as a Christian, people tend to be in denial.
Correct.
Yes, we pray, but, God doesn't come and help you, He won't come physically and support you. So God has put people to support you. Yes. So if you are in denial, if you haven't accepted, nobody is gonna come and help you. You need to accept it, and you need to embrace the journey. Once you accept it, then seek for help, because there is help out there. And even Yanko has been launched just to to support people, just to empower other parents, just to make sure that they shouldn't feel like they are on their own. We are in this together. So I would advise each and every parent that is listening today that you need to accept, because once you accept, that child is gonna get the right support, because that I'm in this and I have to give whatever it takes to support my child. And for those that are listening that maybe they don't have a child with autistic or disability, or I can say you have to be nice. Be careful, the words that you say, because it hurts. You cannot come to a parent to say that, oh, why is your son not talking? Why is your son, still nappies? You have to be kind, because it's like somebody has got a wound and somebody is coming and placing on that wound.
Yes.
So we just have to be nice. We just have to be kind to each other. Love one another, because God has created us in His own image.
That's right.
These children, they're just the same as we are. So that's all I can say, that we need to be nice and be kind.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. That's really, really, really nice. And as well, if you're struggling and you need somebody to talk to, give us your details, your socials, and we can DM you, whatever.
So I have a page, Yanko Foundation, on Facebook. It's called the Yanko Foundation.
Yanko, how do you spell that for somebody else?
YANKHO. So
Yanko.
it's Yanko. It's more like answered. So it's like an answer. In my language, it means
amazing.
an answer. Yeah. So we have Yanko Foundation on Facebook. So you can always, reach out to us on that page.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Now, before we go, I'm going to ask you very interesting, and this is my juicy part. I love it, and I love it.
Yeah.
If you looked back at your younger self, say maybe about 25 years ago.
25.
Would you be younger? I don't want to know
25.
your age. So your years minus 25 years,
I will be
a teenager.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So look at you yourself like that.
Yeah.
What would you tell yourself? That's just food for thought.
Oh God. I think looking back, the younger Fatuma, I would say, don't procrastinate. Don't wait for tomorrow. If you have a dream, go for it. Because I think for the past years, I've had plans, but I tend to procrastinate, and then I regret, like, oh, I wish I could have done it. So I would tell to the younger self that, if you have a plan, go for it. Don't wait for tomorrow, because if tomorrow doesn't come, you have now. So that's what I'm gonna say to my younger self.
Do not procrastinate.
Yeah, don't procrastinate.
I never used to know how to pronounce that word. But I tell myself I wasn't born here, okay, so I'm only trying. But I've mastered it, okay? Procrastinate.
Yes, don't procrastinate. Just go for it.
Yeah.
If you have any dream, go for it. Don't, procrastinate.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Right, okay, so before, we've got about 3-4 minutes.
Yeah.
Just on the bit of, on Yanko, right?
Yeah.
If you were given an opportunity now and say funding is there, what would you do as Yanko?
I think it's creating places where people can come and with
safe places to talk.
Yeah, like to create a space, because that's a plan. We need to create a space where not just mothers, even for fathers, for the people in the community, like to come together and we share ideas, we help each other, because it's not like I know everything. Even me, I'm learning through this journey. So just to create a space where people can talk and we can empower each other, we can support those that need support, like I said, even like especially back home as well, those that need financial support, we can support. But here in UK, it's just to create a space where people are not feeling being judged, because more I was talking about myself, the better I was feeling, because there was a time where I never
even for you to be able to come here and
I wouldn't even
wow.
I would be crying.
Wow.
Yeah, but because I've been talking about it, and when you talk about it, you feel better. Yeah. So we want to create that space where people can talk, where people shouldn't feel like they're on their own, because as we come together, another person will share the story. We are learning from each other. Yeah. So that's where Yanko needs to, wants to create that kind of space. Amazing.
Yeah. Right. So we're running out of time. What is your last few sentences to whoever is listening? Last few words.
I think the only thing I can say is put God first in everything. God is the one that, give us wisdom. Yes. God is the one that directs us. Yes. So in everything that you do, trust God and put God first, because without him I don't think I could be here, but it's only by his grace that I'm here talking to you.
Amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, and as always, time is always against us, but I'm so so thankful that you've been able to come here to
Yeah.
share your lovely story. It's very inspirational. Thank you so much for taking time
Yeah.
to come here on Radio Africana to share your story. And so we're gonna end this now. Thank you so much for
Thank you.
whoever's gonna tune in or whoever's tuned in. Thank you so much for taking your time. And you've been listening to Embrace and Understand Diversity by Reach Out Autism, live here on Radio Africana with your girl Julie. Until we meet again next Sunday, same time, 7 to 8. Have a fabulous week. God bless you all.
Thank you.
Bye.